Good evening, friends. Hey, I just want to bring you an overview of this evening's special meeting of the Village Council. Only one formal action taken this evening. That was council approved the hiring of Timothy McAllister for the Water Department position with a starting wage of $20 per hour. The only other item on the agenda tonight was the Recreation Department, specifically discussion around the proposed reservoir campground rate increases. There were a number of seasonal campers in attendance tonight. I'm not going to try to go over each individual statement and each individual person that talked, but the bottom line is the campers present are against the rate increase and want the existing facilities maintained and repaired. They're not really interested in any large new additions. They are not supportive of the idea of a splash pad at the reservoir. Campers questioned the Recreation Department budget. Nancy and Joe answered their questions, explaining the applicable budget line items. There was also a question or a comment made about whether or not any of the revenue generated at the reservoir was used for other park department expenses, and I'll talk a little bit more about that at the end. It was also pointed out that seasonal campers contribute to the overall village economy, not just the campground. Councilmember Chapin brought up a very good point and said that if we want to do an apples-to-apples comparison, we need to identify other, if there are any, municipally operated campgrounds. It's not a realistic comparison to compare the reservoir campground to commercial campgrounds. The campers are going to form a committee to compile a consensus input, and Councilman Krabs volunteered to meet with them regularly to establish more open communications. Bottom line, no formal action taken this evening. There will be much more discussion and communication. Now, if I may editorialize for just a moment, the question of whether any funds generated by the campgrounds are used for other Recreation Department items comes up repetitively, at least whenever there's a rate increase proposed. And the answer should always be a clear, unequivocal yes. The village has a Parks and Recreation Department to improve the health and welfare of all the citizens of the village. The campgrounds is one of the revenue generation streams that fund the Recreation Department. The village doesn't have a campground to have a campground. Now, that being said, the campers have a reasonable expectation that the facilities, laundry, etc., are maintained and in good working condition. There'll be much more to come on this, but that's it for this evening. I am Steve, and as always, I thank you for watching.